اقسم بالله ما في حاجه اسمها قوات مسلحه في المستقبل، وما في شيء اسمه دوله اسمها السودان عديل.
The people of Sudan endure unspeakable suffering, killing, torture, brutal oppression, violations of human rights, and forced displacement from their villages and cities. This crisis has brought the country to a standstill, halting production and leading to the collapse of its infrastructure.
As chairman of Africa's Subcommittee on Foreign Affairs, I have time and time again brought to the attention of the crises going on the African continent while the rest of the world looks the other way. Mr. Speaker, where is the press? Where are the celebrities? Silent. Today, Sudan is the largest humanitarian crisis in the world, with close to 9 million people internally displaced. Over 800,000 people face catastrophic hunger. Sudanese civilians are scattered around the region. Diplomatic efforts have failed, and the war rages in Khartoum and in Darfur, where an abundance of evidence points to genocide being committed by RSF forces against the Masalit and likely against other non-Arab ethnic communities as well. In Darfur, the RSF has systematically targeted the Masalit ethnic group. From April to June 2023, up to 15,000 people were killed in a series of coordinated attacks. Survivors said they were targeted explicitly because they were Masalit, according to a report compiled by the Raoul Wallenberg Center for Human Rights.
What is the true aim of the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, against the Sudanese people and their economic resources? A dark shadow looms over the regional and global economy as Sudan, known as the breadbasket of the world, faces devastation. Over 90% of agricultural products, crucial to numerous global industries, including pharmaceuticals, food production, oilseeds, and livestock-related sectors such as meat and leather production, originate from Sudan. And the agricultural food sector has shrunk by 22%. This is a destructive war that spares nothing, leaving the country in dark shadows of devastation. Has the RSF targeted Sudan alone? The answer is no. The RSF has also thrust the world into an economic crisis. Exports of gum arabic, an indispensable raw material for vital global industries, have come to a halt. Sudan's remain the world's primary source of this critical commodity. Similarly, the oilseed exports have significantly declined, with economic reports revealing that the global supply of oilseeds and derivatives has shrunk by over 80% due to the ongoing war in Sudan. In Al Jazeera, Sudan's the most significant agricultural region and home to the largest farming projects in the Middle East and Africa, the RSF has orchestrated deliberate displacement, mass killings, and systematic ethnic cleansing. Agricultural inputs such as fertilizers, pesticides have been looted, and irrigation channels have been completely damaged, affecting 80% of the Al Jazeera project. These atrocities have disrupted the agricultural cycle, leaving the fertile lands barren and halting production entirely. Economic indicators reveal a deeper purpose behind this war.
The RSF have attacked, burned, destroyed homes, entire village, IDP camps, and shelters that primarily hosted Masalit people. The governor of West Darfur was executed by the RSF shortly after he publicly decried ongoing genocide, calling for international intervention to protect the remaining population. My resolution will formally declare the atrocities committed by the RSF and their allied militia as acts of genocide. For far too long, the world has stood by as we watch repeat of history and as external actors, including the UAE, fuel the slaughter of innocents and the rape of women and children without repercussion.
To seize control of Sudan's globally significant economic resources, the RSF, aligned with international terrorist organizations such as ISIS and Boko Haram, exemplifies organized global terrorism. This connection is underscored by the horrific violations and atrocities evident on the ground. The world is on the verge of severe global economic crisis, driven by the dual loss of agricultural raw material and mining-based industrial outputs. Mining activities, particularly in Sudan's lucrative gold mines, have ceased, jeopardizing the country's status as a leading gold exporter. Additionally, the suspension of oil exports from South Sudan, a key element of its fragile economy, has compounded the crisis. Global corporations have also ceased production of several critical minerals essential to global industries, such as uranium, a cornerstone of European energy strategies, as well as iron, coal, and copper. Moreover, the RSF has effectively blocked trade routes, severing Sudan's crucial role as a transit hub for landlocked countries reliant on maritime access to global markets. The RSF has forced the closure of international crossings that connect West, East, and Central Africa, the Sahel, North Africa, and Mediterranean countries.
الله أكبر. ديقنا على السيد القائد يا جماعة. دي العربات طريقة بس.
The RSF's aggression has not only targeted Sudan and its people, but also inflicted significant damage on the global economic order. The cessation of livestock exports to Arab and European countries is yet another consequence of the RSF's systematic depopulation of villages and civilian areas.
Today, the RSF continues, formed out of these elements of Janjaweed militia, and are using the exact same playbook. In 2004, it was Congress who took the lead to bring attention to these heinous acts. President George W. Bush's administration followed by declaring genocide in Darfur. And by September 24, 2004, we'd executed. The Bush administration and Congress were clear-eyed in addressing the plight of the Sudanese people. Sadly, today, President Biden has failed the Sudanese people and has left another part of the world on fire, President Trump's new administration. For now, Congress will again take the lead. I urge my colleagues to support passage of H-Res 1328, which passed out of committee on unanimous bipartisan basis. The evidence is clear. The RSF's actions are unequivocally amounting to genocide and must be declared as such. The press must do their duty to the world and report on this heinous genocide and crime against humanity, or they are failing in their mandate and cannot talk about defending freedom of speech if they do not defend the lives of people in Darfur. I call on all parties and their backers to bring an end to this devastating war, and we, for our part, in a bipartisan manner, will do everything we can to support the Sudanese people without delay.
This is terrorism on a global scale, yet the international community remains silent. This grave inaction will undoubtedly come at the high cost for the global order.
باقي الكباري القعدات كبري جبل أولياء وكبري السلاح الطبي وكبري الحلفاية ديل كلنا إن شاء الله ينقلن إن شاء الله في الأيام المقبلة دي في خبر كان